First contact. The crystalline dome of Thalassa Station glimmered like a soap bubble against the amethyst sky. As Dr. Sarah Chen stepped off the transport platform, her heart thundering against her ribs. The gravity felt lighter here, making her movements awkward and bouncy despite months of preparation. Steady breathing, she reminded herself, adjusting the collar of her expedition uniform. Just another research assignment, but it wasn't. The Nexarians had never allowed humans this deep into their territory before. Sarah's pioneering work in xenobiology had earned humanity's first extended research visa to study Nexarian healing techniques. Their medical technology could regrow entire limbs, heal neural damage, and extend lifespans by decades. Earth needed this knowledge desperately. Welcome to Thalassa. Dr. Chen, came a melodic voice. Sarah turned to find a slender figure approaching. The Nexarian female stood slightly taller than Sarah, her skin a soft lavender hue that seemed to pulse gently with the rhythm of her breathing. Two large almond-shaped eyes regarded Sarah with unmistakable curiosity, their irises shifting between shades of violet and silver. "I am Aria, Research Specialist, 3rd rank," she said with a formal bow. "I have been assigned as your liaison and guide during your stay." "Thank you." Sarah smiled, extending her hand before remembering the briefing. "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Nexarians prefer not to." To her surprise, Aria reached out hesitantly and touched her fingertips to Sarah's. "I have studied human customs," she said with what Sarah thought might be a smile. "Physical greeting is important to your species." The touch sent an unexpected tingle up Sarah's arm. "Your quarters have been prepared," Aria continued. "The environmental systems have been calibrated for human physiology, though you may find our night cycle cooler than you prefer." As they walked through sweeping corridors of living crystal, Sarah noticed how other Nexarians stared openly, some with wonder, others with clear distrust. She couldn't blame them. The last diplomatic mission 50 years ago had ended poorly. "They will adjust," Aria said softly, noticing Sarah's discomfort. "Many have never seen a human before. I was selected because my research includes comparative xenobiology. I find your species fascinating." Their quarters were connected by a shared laboratory space. Aria's living area to one side, Sarah's to the other. The lab between them housed equipment, both familiar and utterly alien. "Tomorrow we begin the formal exchange," Aria explained. "But perhaps tonight you would share a meal. Our nutritionists have prepared compatible food. I am curious about human dining customs." That evening, over dishes that tasted strangely of cinnamon and sea salt, Sarah found Aria's formal demeanor melting slightly. The Nexarian asked endless questions about Earth-human families' emotions. "Is it true humans form attachments based on chemical responses?" Aria asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Partly," Sarah laughed, "but there's more to it than just chemistry." "Fascinating," Aria whispered, leaning closer. "On Thalassa, bonds are carefully calculated for genetic optimization, but humans follow feeling. Sometimes to our detriment." Sarah admitted as night fell. The room's ambient light dimmed automatically, casting Aria's purple skin in a soft glow. That night, as Sarah lay in her bed staring at the ceiling that rippled like water, she realized this assignment would be unlike any she'd undertaken before sleep claimed her. She wondered about Aria's final question. "What does it feel like, Dr. Chen, to follow your heart instead of protocol?" Cultural exchange. 3 weeks into her stay on Thalassa, Sarah found herself mesmerized by the Nexarian healing chambers. Aria had led her to a vast circular room where injured Nexarians floated in luminescent pools, their wounds visibly closing. As Sarah watched, "The fluid contains programmable nanites," Aria explained, her voice taking on the enthusiastic tone Sarah had come to recognize whenever she discussed her work. "They bond with our cellular structure and accelerate natural healing processes by approximately 700%. "It's incredible," Sarah whispered, recording everything with her ocular implant. "On Earth, we're still using crude stem cell injections for most regenerative work." Aria tilted her head, a gesture Sarah now recognized as curiosity. Yet your methods seem effective despite their limitations. Your species demonstrates remarkable adaptability. They spent hours each day like this, Arya demonstrating Nexarian medical technology, while Sarah shared human techniques. Neither had expected how much each civilization could learn from the other. Your chemical pain management strategies are surprisingly effective, Arya admitted one evening as they compiled their findings. We've focused so heavily on physical repair that sensation management has remained primitive by comparison. Their workdays grew longer, neither woman rushing to end their sessions. The laboratory between their quarters became a shared space filled with a comfortable blend of human and Nexarian equipment, Sarah's coffee maker next to Arya's crystal tea infuser. Would you explain this again? Arya asked during their third week, pointing to Sarah's notes on psychological components of human healing. You believe emotional state affects physical recovery? Absolutely. Sarah nodded. Patients with strong support systems heal approximately 27% faster than isolated individuals. Emotional connection is powerful medicine. Arya's skin rippled slightly, a sign of deep thought. Fascinating. Our healers consider emotional responses distractions to be minimized. That night, Sarah convinced Arya to try something unheard of on Thalassa, watching an Earth entertainment program together. They sat side by side on Sarah's couch, shoulders almost touching as ancient human romance played out before them. I don't understand, Arya whispered, her eyes never leaving the screen. They just met. Why would they risk everything for each other? That's love, Sarah shrugged, aware of how close Arya sat beside her. It doesn't always make logical sense. Arya turned toward her, their faces suddenly inches apart. Could you explain these emotions further? Perhaps with examples from your personal experience? Sarah felt her pulse quicken. I've had relationships, but nothing that powerful. I've always put my work first. As have I. Arya admitted, her voice softening. On Thalassa, we typically form pairs based on genetic compatibility and shared intellectual interests. Romantic attachment is considered inefficient. And what do you think? Sarah asked. Arya's eyes shifted to a deep violet. I find myself increasingly questioning our approach. Since meeting you, I've experienced unusual thought patterns. Distracting ones. Sarah swallowed hard. What kind of distractions? I find myself wondering about your research less than I wonder about you. Arya confessed, her voice barely audible. Your laughter, your expressions, how your hair catches the light when you're not present. I replay our conversations. This seems highly inefficient, yet I cannot stop. Sarah reached out hesitantly, brushing her fingertips against Arya's wrist. The Nexarian's skin pulsed with light at the contact. Arya, I think you're describing attraction, Sarah said softly. I've been feeling it too. Is this inappropriate? Arya whispered, her eyes wide. The cultural exchange parameters don't cover this. Sarah finished, moving slightly closer. But maybe they should. Their first touch was tentative, Arya's fingers tracing Sarah's cheek with wonder, while Sarah's heart hammered in her chest. When their lips finally met, it was gentle, uncertain worlds colliding in the quiet laboratory, far from the oversight of either species. Neither saw the communication panel blinking with an urgent message from Earth Command, announcing the impending arrival of Evaluation Officer Kai Cooper. Nor did they notice the silent alarm triggered by their unprecedented biochemical synchronization, alerting Nexarian High Command. In the soft glow of the lab, their private cultural exchange had just ventured into uncharted territory with consequences neither could imagine. Forbidden connection. The arrival of Commander Kai Cooper brought an immediate chill to Thalassa Station. He strode through the crystalline corridors with military precision, his Earth Alliance uniform stark against the flowing architecture of the Nexarians. Sarah knew something was wrong the moment she saw him waiting in the laboratory, his posture rigid, hands clasped behind his back. Dr. Chen. He nodded curtly. A word in private. Before Sarah could respond, the opposite door slid open, revealing a tall, imposing Nexarian female, her lavender skin darker than Arya's, marked with the swirling patterns of high rank. Arya immediately straightened her posture. Research specialist Arya. the newcomer said, her melodic voice carrying unmistakable authority. High Commander Rena requires your presence for evaluation. The laboratory suddenly felt crowded with tension as Arya was led away, her eyes meeting Sarah's briefly before she disappeared. "What's going on, Commander?" Sarah demanded once. They were alone. Cooper activated a signal jammer before speaking. "Your biometric data has been flagged, Dr. Chen. Highly irregular hormone patterns consistent with pair bonding. The neural mapping shows attachment formation. Explain yourself." Sarah felt her face flush. "My research with Specialist Arya has been productive. We've made breakthrough discoveries in—" "This isn't about research," Cooper interrupted, his voice low. "Earth Alliance has invested billions in this exchange. The first human-permitted extended access to Nexarian medical technology. And you risk it all for what? An alien dalliance?" "That's not fair," Sarah protested. "Our connection has enhanced our work. We've accomplished more together than—" "The protocols are clear." Cooper cut her off. "No unauthorized biological exchanges, no emotional entanglements. The Nexarians agreed to these terms, as did you. You're a scientist, Dr. Chen. Act like one." Across the station, Arya faced similar questioning. Commander Rena's silver eyes boring into her. "Your physiological readings are disturbing," Rena stated, reviewing a floating display. "Elevated oxytocin dopamine fluctuations consistent with primitive bonding behaviors. Your genetic supervisors are concerned. Commander, the human approach to research has yielded unexpected benefits," Arya tried to explain. "Their emotional perspective offers insights our methodical approach has missed." "And these insights required physical contact?" Rena asked, her tone making clear she already knew the answer. "The neural synchronization patterns suggest intimate connection beyond professional parameters." Arya's skin darkened with emotion. "The connection was unexpected, but the results speak for themselves. Our healing protocols have already improved by integrating human psychological components." "At what cost?" Rena countered. "Your assigned genetic pairing with researcher Talon has been scheduled for next cycle. Your compatibility rating is optimal for producing offspring with enhanced cognitive abilities. Will you jeopardize your genetic duty for this temporary fascination with an alien?" That evening, Sarah found her access to the shared laboratory restricted. Cooper had installed monitoring devices and scheduled daily evaluations. Messages to Arya went unanswered, leaving Sarah pacing her quarters in frustrated isolation. When her door chimed unexpectedly late that night, she opened it to find Arya standing there, eyes darting nervously down the corridor. "We shouldn't be seen together," Arya whispered, slipping inside. "Commander Rena has ordered separation pending evaluation." "Kai's done the same," Sarah replied, fighting the urge to embrace her. "What's happening?" "Our connection triggered security protocols," Arya explained, her voice trembling slightly. "Nexarian human biological attachments are classified as potential contamination risks. They fear I've been compromised." Sarah reached for Arya's hand, their fingers intertwining. "Have you been?" Arya's skin pulsed with light at the contact. "By their standards, yes. My scheduled genetic pairing feels hollow. Now meaningless. I've experienced something they can't quantify." "They're separating us permanently, aren't they?" Sarah asked, already knowing the answer. "Tomorrow they transfer me to the Central Medical Facility," Arya confirmed. "You'll remain here under supervision until your research visa expires in 2 weeks. Sarah felt something break inside her. 2 weeks, then I never see you again? Arya moved closer, her forehead touching Sarah's. "Unless we find another way, they don't understand what we've discovered goes beyond medicine. It's about connection between different worlds." Their kiss was desperate, charged with the knowledge of impending separation. When they finally pulled apart, Arya pressed something into Sarah's palm, a small crystal that pulsed with soft light. "Keep this," she whispered. "It's synchronized to my biorhythms. No matter the distance, you'll know. I'm thinking of you." Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. Commander Cooper's voice echoed through the communication system. "Emergency protocols activated. All personnel report to designated safety zones immediately." The crystal in Sarah's hand pulsed frantically as Arya's eyes widened in fear. The containment field in the Advanced Research Wing. Something's been breached. Worlds apart. The containment breach threw Thalassa Station into chaos. Experimental nanites designed for neural repair had escaped their isolation chambers, spreading through the environmental systems. Sarah found herself quarantined in her quarters. While Arya was confined with other Nexarian medical staff attempting to create a countermeasure, the nanites are bonding with neural tissue, Cooper explained through the sealed door, his voice grim. They're designed to repair Nexarian brains, but they're causing unpredictable reactions in humans. 3 technicians are already experiencing dangerous synaptic rewiring. Sarah pressed her palm against the crystal Arya had given her, feeling its warmth pulsing in rhythm with her thoughts. I need to help. They don't understand the human neural architecture. Absolutely not, Cooper replied. High Command has ordered complete separation. You're being evacuated on the next transport. Through the crystal's connection, Sarah could sense Arya's frustration as the Nexarian medical team struggled without human insight. The nanites had been programmed with Nexarian neural patterns. They couldn't anticipate how differently they would interact with human brains. Commander Rena believes your attachment to the human has compromised your judgment. Sarah overheard another researcher tell Arya through their connection, the Genetic Council has accelerated your pairing ceremony with Talon. Once this crisis is contained, you'll begin the bonding protocol. Arya's anguish flowed through their connection. The human neural structure requires different containment parameters. Their emotional centers process differently. Their minds are ordered by feeling, not logic. Which is precisely why interspecies attachments are forbidden. Commander Rena interrupted. Your fascination with their chaotic biology demonstrates how far you've strayed from proper Nexarian thinking. Days passed. The quarantine tightened. Affected humans began displaying alarming symptoms. Their neural pathways rewiring toward Nexarian patterns, causing disorientation, memory loss, and sensory distortion. Sarah watched helplessly through her connection with Arya as both their worlds collapsed around them. Their brief connection deemed dangerous, their separation enforced with increasing determination. The crystal glowed constantly, now their only link across the enforced divide. As Sarah's evacuation approached, she held it tightly against her heart, knowing their time was running out. Unless something changed dramatically, they would never see each other again. Bridge between worlds. The evacuation shuttle was minutes from departure when alarms blared throughout the station. The nanite infection had reached critical levels. With 15 humans now in neural distress, Sarah felt the crystal in her hand pulse frantically. Arya was attempting something desperate. What's happening? Sarah demanded as Cooper rushed past her quarters. The Nexarian research specialist assigned to you has broken containment, he replied grimly. She's attempting to reach the central laboratory against orders. The security team is moving to intercept. Sarah felt Arya's determination through their connection. The Nexarian had realized something crucial about the nanites' programming, something only possible because of her unique understanding of human neurology gained through their connection. Let me speak to her, Sarah pleaded. She's discovered something important. Cooper hesitated then, nodded sharply, overriding the door lock. 5 minutes, that's all you get. Sarah rushed to the communication panel connecting directly to the laboratory where Arya was frantically programming a containment field. Arya, what are you doing? The nanites respond to emotional patterns, Arya explained, working rapidly. They're programmed for Nexarian logical pathways, but human brains are structured around emotional centers. The more they try to suppress their emotions, the faster the nanites rewire their neural connections. Sarah understood immediately. They need to embrace human emotional patterns, not fight them. Exactly, Arya confirmed. But Commander Rena won't listen. She believes emotional expression will accelerate the infection. We need to show them, Sarah decided, together. Against direct orders from both commands, Sarah convinced Cooper to escort her to the laboratory where Arya worked. When they arrived, Commander Rena was already there, attempting to remove Arya from her station. What you're proposing is madness, Rena insisted. Encouraging emotional expression will accelerate neural deterioration. Not with the modified containment field, Sarah interjected as she entered. The nanites are trying to impose Nexarian, logical structure on human emotional architecture. They're fighting against our fundamental neural organization. Cooper stepped forward skeptically. And your solution? We calibrate the field to harmonize with both patterns, Arya explained. Not suppressing human emotion but aligning it with Nexarian logic, creating a bridge between our neural architectures. Impossible. Rena dismissed, not for us. Sarah countered, taking Arya's hand, the crystal between their palms pulsing brightly. We've already formed that bridge. Their connection had created something unprecedented, a neural pathway that understood both species' thought patterns. When they worked together to recalibrate the containment field, the nanites responded, immediately stabilizing. Within the affected humans, in the aftermath, both Earth Alliance and Nexarian High Command were forced to reevaluate their separation protocols. The neural bridge Sarah and Arya had formed became the template for a new understanding between their species. The interspecies medical exchange program has been expanded, Cooper informed them weeks later, obvious reluctance in his voice. Your research will continue under joint supervision. Commander Rena approached Arya formally. Your genetic pairing has been postponed indefinitely. Your unique neural configuration with the human is now considered valuable research. As the commanders departed, Sarah and Arya stood in their shared laboratory, fingers intertwined the crystal between them, glowing softly. They still don't understand. Arya whispered. They see our connection as a research opportunity. Sarah smiled, touching her forehead to Arya's. Let them call it whatever they need to, so long as we remain together building this bridge between worlds. Their kiss sealed a promise that transcended species protocols and stars, the first of many connections that would eventually transform two civilizations.